In the early years of New China, Liang Sicheng held a number of important posts: Dean of the Architecture Department at Tsinghua University, Vice Director of the Construction Department under the central government, and Vice Chairman of Beijing's Urban Planning Committee. He was also elected to the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference and was Vice Chairman of the Beijing Municipal People's Political Consultative Conference. A month before Beijing was liberated by communist forces, Liang Sicheng had been asked to draw up a list of the city's old buildings that should be protected. Several months later, the new government asked him to produce a catalogue of important buildings across the entire nation. For this project, he enlisted the help of his colleagues at Tsinghua. By referring to the research done several years earlier by the Society for the Study of Chinese Architecture, they drew up a list of between 500 and 600 old buildings located in 146 municipalities and counties in 22 provinces. Beijing was first on the list. In fact, the entire city was rated as an historic site. The entry included these words: Beijing is the best preserved and greatest capital city. The layout is neatly symmetrical. Its grandeur is unparalleled anywhere in the world. In January 1949, there began a major influx of people and institutions into Beijing. The central government, civil and military officers, related logistics departments, and the families of government officials were all looking for premises in the new capital. And it was a situation that caused Liang Sicheng considerable anxiety. On September the 19th, 1949, in his capacity as Vice Chairman of the Beijing Urban Planning Committee, he wrote to Beijing Mayor Nie Rongjian. The letter read, "To the Mayor General Nie Rongjian, I felt very honoured when I was appointed to sit on the Beijing Urban Planning Committee. I am determined to devote all my humble efforts to the construction of Beijing. You have succeeded Mayor Ye to lead us, and I support you wholeheartedly. But at the risk of seeming rude, I would like to present to you my limited opinions. We must, at the beginning, be very careful concerning the construction work in our people's capital. Until a law on the capital city plan can be promulgated, I appeal to you to instruct all the public and private officers and organizations, as well as individual citizens, in the name of the mayor, to consult the Urban Planning Committee before they carry out new construction projects, especially those on unused land, no matter what their size or how long they're supposed to be in use. Only after they have obtained permission should they begin the design work. If the Urban Planning Committee cannot do this, its existence is of no value at all." Beijing had been the capital of the Jin, Yuan, Ming and Qing dynasties. But it was only during the Ming and Qing dynasties that it really began to develop into a truly extraordinary capital. Shortly after the new administration was established, the Beijing Urban Planning Committee was charged with drawing up plans for creating the national capital. Before starting work on any of the major construction projects, Liang Sicheng, along with Chen Jianxiang, the newly appointed director of the planning department, studied the development of major cities in the West over the preceding 50 years. They then submitted a proposal concerning where the administrative centre of the central government should be located. Historians refer to this document as the Liang Qian Plan. The key point in the plan was to locate the administrative centre of the Central People's Government outside the city wall.
梁先生他主张的是把行政中心放在西郊。他认为这个行政中心放在西郊 是牵涉一个全局的问题，实际上是北京用什么理念来规划。
In 1956, Liu Xiaoshi, a graduate of the architecture department at Tsinghua University, became the department's Communist Party secretary. In the 1980s, he held the position of director of the Beijing Planning Bureau.
那么它放在西郊呢，有一个很重要的作用呢，就是把旧城给保护起来。
Liang Sicheng believed the old city should be left untouched. He wanted to see designated functional zones with housing and service facilities built around the city. He believed the city centre should have its population relocated as an organic whole and felt that traffic volume should be reduced to a minimum.
他认为城市就像一个人有机体的细胞，每一个细胞都健全了，这个城市就健全。那么他的概念呢，他的理论呢，就说城市规划的最高的目的是人民安居乐业。
Liang Sicheng and Chen Jianxiang finished drawing up their plan in February 1950. But at the time, urban planning was a brand new concept for the government. The communist-led forces had spent several decades fighting to take over the country and establish a central government in Beijing. And the ideas the politicians had concerning central planning were quite different from those of the scholars. At a meeting of the Communist Party in Xibaipo, the leaders made it clear that in order to consolidate the people's rule over the country, consumer cities needed to be developed into productive cities.